Hello and welcome to our next Focus Cyber session. So happy to have everybody here. So happy to introduce Larissa and your cybersecurity pivot, how to transition with confidence. So excited for this. And Larissa, we turn it over to you.
Hello, and very happy to be here. I was thinking to just go about the pivot, just like we would think about creating a new recipe from what we have in the fridge. Most of the times, people think that they need to learn a bunch of skills and take 6 months off, a year off, just to learn a lot of new things in order to transition with confidence and be able to pivot and get the actual job. But the truth is, most of the people have already a lot of skills that are needed for at least some basic cybersecurity jobs that can be easily obtained and then build from there once you are already into the field. Why this is very important is it's very hard to know from the outside what should you actually learn when you're there. So again, a lot of skills sometimes are required just to make it fun, to make it work. And we will start with my transition. For example, I have a law degree, I have a master's in law, I worked as a technical writer for a very long time. And after that, I transitioned into tech, into IT. But there, I wasn't a coder. I was mostly on support and making sure everybody has what they need. So basically a support PM type of role, where I also learned, because I had a law degree, how to do privacy. So in each job that I went, I built on my skills, and this landed in the end into the cybersecurity role that I now have. Everything was built step by step, and it was never a focus on how to get there, but mostly how to work with what I have to make the next step. We had this really fun idea together, me and Francesca, we talked about it, and I mentioned why not make it something that is relatable to everybody, and we all love food. I mean, I love food a lot, and why not do it like this? The first thing to look at is, for example, in the European Union, there is a list of positions that the European Union recommends. It's not mandatory, but because they name the names, it's very easy to start from there and to build up a career that you want. In the United States, there is the NICE framework. Don't worry, guys, everything is linked in the end in the last slide, and you can click on it and look into it on your own time. The idea is that once you look at these positions, at least you can get an idea on what does it mean to work in cybersecurity. What are the positions? How should I prepare? Which position is something that I should build towards? And how should I create and structure my cybersecurity career from what I have? And these are all the skills that are required in order to learn everything and to know everything about cybersecurity. Because it's over 40 of them, it's obvious that nobody really does this, and nobody really knows everything there is to know about cybersecurity. So that is a myth. But when we look closer to those skills, we see that a lot of them group together in clusters. And after we group them, we can see that it's only 12 of them. Of course, these are the clusters, so not the skills themselves. It's not everything you can know about anything. And then we transformed all the skills into ingredients. So let the fun part begin. We started with the CISO position, although this should be the last one in the list because it's basically the end of the road when it comes to cybersecurity. Usually this is the last position somebody gets into in the cybersecurity field. And we see that we need to know governance, we need to have a little knowledge of the tech, and we need a little reporting. These are the main ingredients in order to be successful. This means that if you worked prior into a technology role and you got pretty far into that technology role, you have maybe 15, 20 years experience doing the tech role, The distance to be a CISO is not that great. You should be able to pivot even without doing a lot of preparation, even without doing a lot of courses, because you can leverage your tech knowledge. When I say tech knowledge, I usually think of network, I usually think of coding, I usually think of architecture. Can you pivot from a role that is not this technical? Definitely, but you have to think about a bigger company. The bigger the company, the more they need when it comes to governance, policies, contract negotiations, and so on. And because this usually cannot be done by somebody with a low role, they will have a technical CISO, and they will also have a governance negotiating CISO, which means that no matter where you come from, if you have 15, 20 years of experience in your field, and you know that you have what it takes to lead people, and you have what it takes to translate everything that is needed to be implemented, or all the recommendations from the clients, into something that the leadership can understand and can get behind, this is the position for you. This is a very stressful position, and usually comes with a paycheck that is reflective of that. Also, I've put some courses and what would be the skills needed to work on before thinking of becoming a CISO. The cost is pretty high, in my opinion, but then again, the paycheck reflects that. Keep in mind that the paycheck is usually an approximation, so it's not necessarily what you can get on the market. I have seen positions of CISO that go from 60,000 euros per year and positions that go over $400,000 per year. It really depends where it is located and what is required of the person. So please keep in mind that these numbers are extremely flexible.